A baby fell 10,000 feet from the sky and survived. No parachute, no safety gear, just a helpless infant plummeting towards certain death. But when rescuers arrived, they found the impossible. What saved her? Was it luck or something far more mysterious? Stay till the end, because this story will leave you speechless. The sky was painted in golden hues as Flight 214 cruised smoothly at 35,000 feet. Passengers relaxed in their seats, flipping through magazines, chatting softly, or staring dreamily out of the windows at the vast sky. It was just another routine flight, until it wasn't. A sudden, violent jolt shook the aircraft. Overhead compartments burst open. Gasps filled the cabin. The plane lurched sideways, then steadied. For a brief moment, silence. Then, a second jolt. Harder. Oxygen masks dropped. Alarms blared. Flight attendants, their voices calm but urgent, rushed down the aisles. Panic set in. Then came the voice. The captain. "This is your captain speaking. Brace for impact." The words stripped the air of hope. Parents clutched their children. Strangers held hands. Some whispered prayers. Others simply closed their eyes. And then, the unthinkable happened. A deafening explosion. A blinding flash of fire. The aircraft tore apart mid-air, ripping into two pieces. Passengers screamed as the cabin plummeted toward the earth. The roar of the wind was merciless. Metal groaned, engines failed. The world spun into chaos. In the chaos, a single cry pierced through the madness. The cry of a baby. Deep in the thick, untouched wilderness of northern Canada, the wreckage of Flight 214 lay in smoldering ruins. The impact had been catastrophic. Metal debris scattered across miles, fires burning where fuel had ignited, and the distant sound of sirens as rescue teams fought against time. Their mission was simple: find survivors. But after hours of searching, hope was fading. No one could have survived this. Then, a sound, a soft whimper, a cry. A firefighter froze. Did he imagine it? Number. It was real. Frantically, he dropped to his knees, pushing aside shattered pieces of the plane. He followed the sound through the wreckage, his heart pounding. And then, he saw her. A tiny baby girl, barely a year old, lay nestled between the twisted remains of what was once a row of seats. Her small fingers curled around a torn piece of blanket. Her cheeks were smeared with dirt and ash, but her bright, innocent eyes stared up at the firefighter. No burns, no broken bones, just a few scratches. She had survived a 10,000-foot fall from the sky. A miracle. The world would later call her the miracle baby. As the world held its breath, time seemed to stretch into eternity. The sky, once vast and endless, became a cruel abyss, swallowing the tiny, helpless form of the baby as she plummeted towards certain doom. The wind screamed like a mournful wail, twisting around her fragile body as if trying, desperately, to slow her fall. On the ground below, life continued, unaware that fate was orchestrating an impossible moment. A rooftop, angled just so, stood waiting like a guardian. A pile of freshly fallen snow, soft and untouched, lay in perfect stillness. To the untrained eye, these were nothing more than ordinary elements of the world. But in that instant, they became something more. Pieces of a miracle, aligning with impossible precision. And then, impact. The world seemed to stop as the tiny body met the snow, sinking into its cold embrace. For a heartbeat, there was silence. No cries, no movement, just the deafening weight of uncertainty. But then, a sound, a breath, a miracle. Against all odds, life had triumphed over fate, and in that moment, the impossible became reality. But how? Investigators were baffled. This was a crash that no one should have walked away from, let alone a helpless infant. Yet there she was, unharmed, alive. Experts scrambled for explanations. The explosion threw her clear of the plane before impact. She landed on thick treetops, which cushioned her fall. The seat she was in acted as a protective cocoon, but none of these theories fully explained her survival. Scientists called it impossible. Experts called it a statistical anomaly. But to the world, it was simply a miracle. The infant, now orphaned, had no family left to claim her. But fate had a plan. She was adopted by one of the rescue workers, the very firefighter who had found her among the wreckage. A man who had spent years pulling lifeless bodies from crash sites, but had never found hope until now. He named her Amara, meaning miracle. As Amara grew, the story of her impossible survival followed her everywhere. Reporters wanted interviews. Scientists wanted tests. But for years she remained silent, struggling with a question that haunted her. Why me? Why did I survive when no one else did? The answer came years later. At 18, Amara stepped into the world of aviation safety. She studied plane crashes. She pored over accident reports, searching for patterns, weaknesses, failures, anything that could make a difference. She worked with engineers to develop stronger child restraints for flights, new emergency landing protocols, crash-proof seat designs. Her mission was clear: to make sure no one else would suffer the fate her parents did. Because of her, countless lives were saved in future crashes. One cold autumn morning, Amara returned to the crash site for the first time. She stood in the exact place where, as a baby, she had been pulled from the wreckage. The forest was silent. The trees had grown taller, but the memories remained. As she knelt down and touched the earth, she realized something. Her survival wasn't just luck. It wasn't random chance. It was destiny, and she had fulfilled it. This is more than just a survival story. It's a story of purpose, fate, and resilience. Would you believe it if you hadn't heard it yourself? Like and share if you believe in miracles.